Okay, guys, today is Washington Redskins. Welcome back to the Crazy Sasquatch predictions. We're going to get going here. We did the Eagles yesterday, so we jumped divisions. We did NFC North, now the East. And so we talked about the Eagles yesterday. We're going to go into the Redskins today. Dwayne Haskins is your starting quarterback right now. Guys, he had 7 starts last year, 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That's 1 touchdown, 1 interception per each start. The thing is, I see the problem here. He had 29 sacks in those 7 games. 29 times he got sacked. They either got a bad offensive line or he's not getting rid of the ball fast enough. I think he's got the same issue this year. Tight end wise, really nobody big name guys there, guys. Wide receiver wise, you had Terry McLaurin. He was a second-year player, or now he's going to be a second-year player this year. He was a rookie last year. I see one really positive wide receiver. Tight ends, running back. I kind of like Geis. Geis with the Miami Dolphins, guys. You got Adrian Peterson, the ageless wonder. I mean, still going. I mean, he did well last year. But I think there's going to be more running back by committee this year. He picked up Barber from Tampa Bay. Peterson. I know you picked up some here and there. We got Gibson in the draft, running back / wide receiver. Gibson. You just don't have a lot of firepower and offense. I could see if Haskins struggles, or even before the season starts in spring training, they picked up Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen did okay last year in Carolina. Kyle Allen may step in, if Haskins is struggling. You can't take 29 sacks, guys, in 7 games. That's just, you're not getting rid of the ball. I said for multiple reasons. Offensive line, weapons around you, whatever. You can't take that many sacks. Allen's did a little better. I guess you say did a little better in Carolina than what Haskins did. So bringing him in as a backup, maybe they're a starter. You may have a quarterback controversy here, guys, really quickly. Now on the other side of the ball, defense, Redskins, you got a scary defense. You had already had Kerrigan. He's been good for quite a while. I like Kerrigan. You picked up Montell Sweat last year. You just picked up Chase Young, supposedly one of the best defenders in the draft this year. Your front area has gotten good. You lost Josh Norman and Dunbar in the back, but you picked up some other guys. On the team you got Bostic, Landon Collins, Kendall Fuller. You got a pretty stacked defense. Pretty good defense. But I guess the best reference I can think of is the Bears last year. Bears got a good defense, but the offense didn't allow them to stay off the field enough, so they got tired. Redskins going to have that same formula this year. You're just not going to have all that time on the field with your offense. Your defense is going to be good, but they're going to wear out by halftime. They're going to start getting tired defending the other team. I just don't see the Redskins having a very good offense this year, guys. I'm sorry to say that, but even the rookies, you got some rookies coming up, but I just don't think you have enough yet. A year or two down the road, you add a little bit more to that offense, could be scary. This year could be not so good. Anything to say about the Redskins before we get into the games? No? Okay, we'll get into the games, guys. And I kind of led into my thoughts about them. And, I like Haskins. He can run, he can throw. But I said 29 sacks in 7 games, something's got to give. And you can't have as many interceptions as you do touchdowns. So from there, we'll see what their schedule looks like. You get some tough teams. Might not be very pretty this year. You did get a new coach. So, we'll see how Ron Rivera does. He didn't do all that bad in Carolina, but you had Cam Newton. You had Christian McCaffrey. You had some decent players there. You ain't got that caliber type player yet in Washington. I think he's going to have his work cut out for him. But, hey, we'll see. So, if you watched yesterday's video, we already went over the Eagles. So watch episode 5 from yesterday. You'll see the reasons why we chose the Eagles to win this game and for the Redskins to lose this game. So going into week 2 at Arizona. Arizona picked up one of the top wide receivers in the game from Houston this year, or from last year, came over. It's like another one of the second-year quarterbacks, but Kyle Murray's got a little more weapons around him. At Arizona, guys, is part of it too. You know, it's hard to win away from home, but I think they have the defense to maybe slow them down, but not for the whole game.
At Arizona, with the improvements to the Redskins, the Washington, to their defense and improvements to their quarterbacks, with Ron Rivera as their head coach. Kyle Allen came from the Panthers, and so did Ron Rivera, so they know each other, so they know probably some of the plays. Kyle Allen, in my opinion, Kyle Allen should start as quarterback, and against Kyle Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, and Fitzgerald, their defense has a lot of holes in it, same with their offense. Arizona, their wide receiving core, it's probably one of the best, maybe top 5 or 6. And their defense is still getting there. And both sides of the ball is still getting there, but Arizona, I think they're gonna win it. I think Washington's gonna lose it at Arizona.
Okay, game 3 still on the road at Cleveland. You know, Cleveland was that team everybody thought was gonna have a really great year last year. Really didn't do it. Reasons why: Beckham, some of them maybe guys didn't mesh real well. Running back wise, I don't know. You got a good running back in Chubb. Defense wise, they can hold their own. Baker Mayfield here, guys, he's learning the game a little bit more here. I think Cleveland's going to have a slight advantage in this one at home. A little bit older team, a few more weapons on offense. Defensive wise, I think it's about equal. It's going to be a tight one here. I think Washington's going to come in ready to play, but I just can't see it happening, guys. I think Cleveland's going to learn a little bit from last year and be a little better team this year.
At Cleveland, in an earlier video, I think in the Philadelphia video, I said Cleveland's above average team, but the only question I have is their coaching. But even though, let's say they have bad coaching like they did last year or the year before that, I think they would still win this matchup with their above average team. And with Washington, their offense, with probably one good receiver, Cleveland overall on defense, solid defense. I don't see Washington scoring that much against this Cleveland defense. I have another loss for Washington.
And Washington, your schedule is kind of hard this year. I mean, Baltimore Rams, some playoff caliber teams all the way through. It's gonna be tough, but you learn that way. Baltimore, talking about tough teams, playoff caliber team, Super Bowl type caliber team. Defense, they're going to chew up the Redskins offense. And the Redskins offense just ain't going to be able to do much against this Baltimore's defense. One of the top defenses in the league. Yes, Washington, you got to have a decent defense. But can you stop Baltimore's offense? Not this year. Not right now. Sorry, guys. Baltimore, I know it's coming in at your house, but they're going to be a tough one.
Versus Baltimore at Washington Stadium. Baltimore is one of those teams that are probably in the top 3 in the AFC. Washington's probably the bottom 3 on NFC. Baltimore overall is a way better team. With Lamar Jackson, he's probably not. Even though they got Fuller from the Chiefs, I think. What other corners can stop Lamar Jackson? Baltimore's probably gonna not get Washington that many offensive points. So with Baltimore, they're probably going to get a lot of points off of Washington defense. So Baltimore is easily going to have this win in Week 4.
Rams, guys. Aaron Donald versus the Washington's quarterback. Donald's going to take off. Your number one wide receivers going to be locked down. I mean, Rams' defense is pretty good. A few key players, really good defensive guys they got on our team are going to lock out your top players. This is going to be another team coming into your own house, but a playoff caliber team here, guys. Washington just isn't there yet to have the weapons to stay in this game. Defense is going to get tired by the third quarter.
Versus Rams, even though they lost Gurley, I think their offense will still get a lot of points against Washington. Washington's offense, like I said, with Baltimore, they really don't have that many good players except for maybe their quarterback. I'm not sure about their offensive line. The Rams' defensive line is probably going to break through that and get like 3 or 4 sacks this game or more. I just don't see Washington winning this at all.
At the Giants. Going at Giants. Giants got one of the top running backs in the league. Daniel Jones, up and coming quarterback. Didn't have the greatest years last year. I just don't see it happening here. I mean, I think it's going to be a competitive game here. I think Washington's defense may step up and make this a very competitive game. I think we should I can't talk. With Barkley, guys, I can't talk today. With Barkley, I think that's going to be a huge weapon that they're going to have to tee up on. The Redskins are going to have to tee up on Barkley and make Daniel Jones beat you with his arm. I think they have enough weapons on their team and probably do that. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a very close game. At Giants, with some of the weapons they have, I think by now, if whichever quarterback is starting, you may start having a quarterback controversy here of, this guy's 0-5. It ain't gonna be quite his fault because look at the teams you're playing. But you still could start talking about some, Allen could be coming in by now. It could be close. It could be close, but I said with one star wide receiver, the other one's kind of unproven yet. Can't see it happening quite yet.
At the Giants, this is probably going to be the closest game in their schedule, other than the Giants up here at Washington. It's probably going to be the closest game to winning in the whole, in their schedule. And again with this, Saquon Barkley is just going to keep running through their defensive line and get over probably 100 or 90 yards this game. Saquon Barkley's probably going to have he's going to boost his running stats up for this game, and I don't see, again with all the other teams, Washington, I don't predict they're doing very good this year. They're already not first in their division, but I think it's going to keep on going like that.
Week 7, by now, I think he could probably, if Kyle Allen's not started, if this record is true and Hopkins has lost this many in a row, Kyle Allen is most likely starting. He might be able to manage the game a little bit better. Still, weapon-wise, you don't have the weapons Dallas has. Ezekiel Elliott, if Prescott's probably hopefully through his contract negotiations by now, but we'll see what happens there if not. Still be a tough team. I can't see him winning. If Dallas comes together, they'll be a playoff caliber team.
Dallas with a new head coach, overall a playoff team, one of the best defenses, and in my opinion, one of the best offenses. With Giants with Saquon Barkley, also Dallas has a very good running back. With Washington, again, I don't think it's probably not going to stand a chance against this game also. Washington's still few years away from being a average team. I just don't see them winning this also.
Dallas did bring in Darren Dalton. Not Darren Dalton. No, Cowboys. I think his name, but anyway, Dallas got a. I think his name right now. Sorry, it's just my name. But Dallas has got a decent backup quarterback. If something happens, I think Dallas is still going to be okay with their quarterbacks they have on the team. Andy Dalton. Sorry, Andy Dalton. I'm getting baseball, guys. Darren Dalton. Andy Dalton. So, thanks for covering me there. Like I said, this is live, not really live, but we just go with it. So, they got Andy Dalton. If Prescott can't go, Andy Dalton is a veteran enough quarterback with the weapons around him. He's going to be able to lead this team to some wins, too. So, much needed bye week. You're hurting pretty good, but bye week, recapture, get your breath, get your rookies just going.
I want to say something about the bye. By this time, I'm going to speak more of it during this game, but they should get free agents for their quarterback, not their quarterback, their wide receivers, their tight ends, one corner, and they probably need to fill up every position other than the big name players like the quarterbacks, their corners, and their running backs. Everything else I think they need to improve, but they need to on the bye week they need to get new free agents or trade away some picks to get big name players. Because I'm pretty sure the trade deadlines is also on their bye week, week 8, I think.
I think so.
So in the bye week they have 1 week to train all those players in the playbook, and they'll be ready for this. But that's a big if they get those new players.
So leading into week 9, what Brett's saying, I kind of agree with him. You might have some new players. If not, you can be switching some positions. You already played the Giants once. Chase Young. Some of these guys in the front line, these rookies, are going to start knowing what to do, how fast the game's going now in pro level. Giants are coming in there. Redskins had a week off, kind of rest up, maybe make a few changes. I think we have a close one here, but I do think the Redskins are going to pull this one off. You play a team twice in the same season. I think your defense is going to come in, stop Barkley. And with who you have back in the back of the cornerbacks and safeties, I think you're going to slow down their game. I can see Redskins pulling this one off.
And over here, I said this is probably the closest matchup in their whole season because they probably have above average teams throughout the season, except for the Giants. They're probably average team. But if they get a wide receiver, which I think they will, free agency, and from other teams. If they don't, this is a loss, but if they get one, this is a win. And if they start Kyle Allen, that's the only way I think they can win. If they get a new wide receiver and put in Kyle Allen, I think they win this. With Ron Rivera as new head coach, I think he would see they need wide receivers with all these losses. So I think he will pick up an average wide receiver, so that's the only reason I'm giving them one. If we're re-watching this and they didn't pick up a wide receiver until week 9, from free agency or trading, I don't think they'll win this.
So you have to go back and watch our episode on the Detroit Lions a couple episodes ago. I'm not going to get into it why we think they lost here, but you can watch a Detroit Lion episode and understand this one then. Yeah, watch our previous episodes, guys. We're not making any money on this. No advertisements. Sit and enjoy. Commercial free. All right. Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrows, rookie quarterback. Gets a tough defense. It's going to be a close one. It's at home, at Redskins. They got a taste of a victory here. Maybe made some changes. Maybe lost a really close one here. They got the taste of victory, I think, now. Rookies are kind of coming together halfway through the season, knowing the speed of the game, knowing the playbook, knowing how things are ran. Burrow's going to be good. A.J. Green's coming back if he can stay healthy. You got some decent running backs here, but I just think I got a gut feeling that the Redskins at home can pull this one off.
At Washington versus Cincinnati, the one thing that Washington is needing is a wide receiver. Cincinnati has that. The one thing Cincinnati's missing is a quarterback. They do have a rookie, but rookies are unpredictable. They could be one of the worst players or probably one of the best, like Mahomes a couple years ago. But Cincinnati, would you rather have a good wide receiving core, or a good quarterback? I think that's what will win this game. I think with Washington's quarterbacks, with Andy Dalton and Kyle Allen, with those two quarterbacks, I think they are accurate enough to win this game. Their defense might get a few holes in it and get a lot of yards for A.J. Green, but I don't think their rookie quarterback is probably going to hit all of the passes that are wide open, so I'm giving second win to Washington.
At Dallas, guys, whoever's playing quarterback here, you still got Ezekiel Elliott if he's healthy. You got two good wide receivers. Fantasy league guys, I like Gallup. You should be able to get him cheap. He showed a lot last year. If he's around in the third or fourth rounds, I would pick up Gallup. I think he's going to be a good wide receiver this year. Dallas, we'll let you know tomorrow or the next day when we do Dallas where we think they're going to land at. Them and the Giants we got to do next, but possible playoff caliber team here, guys. Dallas has got to get used to the new coach, get used to whoever's playing the quarterback position. Just get things kind of smooth off there with the new things and the contracts and everything. But I think Dallas is going to have things kind of straightened out by now and pull this one off at Dallas.
At Dallas, Washington. Dallas is probably a playoff team this year. They're probably above average team this year. One of the best offenses and defenses against Washington, with probably one of the worst on each side. Dallas with their running backs, quarterbacks, I think they'll get a lot of points this game and a lot of rushing yards this game, especially at Dallas. It's even a harder game than at Washington. So if it's at Dallas, the new head coach is probably fit into the team. They already got used to the team, so I don't see them winning it. This is going to be even a harder win than when they lost in Week 7.
All right, going to Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger's back healthy, missed most of last year. And Pittsburgh still got Juju Smith-Schuster. You got Connor at running back. One of the top defenses in the league. Pittsburgh's got a very tough defense. I don't know if Washington's front line and quarterbacks can withhold that defense. I think if Pittsburgh's defense was a little less, I think this would be a very close game, because I think the Washington's defense is going to come after Roethlisberger. Veteran quarterback, been around for a long time, not as mobile as he used to be. I think those Chase Young and Sweat. I think with Kerrigan, I think that front line can come in and get Roethlisberger. But because of the other side of the ball on the defensive side, I think Pittsburgh's going to have a few takeaways, a few sacks. I was almost going to give this an upset to Washington, but I think because of this Pittsburgh defense, that is the reason I'm giving Washington their loss. And I think this could be an upset game here, guys. But I just think Pittsburgh's defense has this. You don't have that advantage to make this one a loss.
At Pittsburgh every year probably had an average to above average defense. With Roethlisberger back this year, it's going to be a very tough matchup for Washington, and just like all the other games except for these two, I think you only can go one way, and that way is Washington losing at Pittsburgh, even if it was just at Washington versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is going to win.
49ers at 49ers. It's always hard for a team in this area to go out to the West Coast. You know, Washington's got to travel all the way across the whole country to get out there. You got a playoff caliber, Super Bowl caliber team. Everything falls right with these guys. 49ers can be just too much for them to handle, guys. Just way too much for them to handle.
At 49ers, I think they're at least going to either the Super Bowl or the round before that. And they're probably one of the best teams. I think I said it with one of the teams over there with Baltimore. One of the best teams and one of the worst teams. I don't see Washington winning this at all again. At 49ers, one of the best teams. One of the best in offense and defense. I just don't see Washington winning this.
Seattle, still out on the West Coast. Another playoff caliber team. Russell Wilson. Some of the receivers they got out there, the running backs. Seattle's going to have a tough defense, probably not as good as what they used to have. They're still going to have a tough defense. Washington's just too young of a team yet. Old in some spots, too young in other spots to do this. A couple years from now, might be a different story, but not this year.
Versus Seattle at Washington. Again, Seattle, one of the best on offense, is probably average to above average on defense. Their running back, probably one of the best. Their quarterback, probably one of the best. Their defense, their corners are probably one of the best. Washington, I can't say that with anything about one of the best on them. They have a very tough schedule in this season. I don't see them winning Seattle like every other team.
Carolina, guys. Guess who Carolina's coach was last year? Yeah, the Redskins coach this year. Think you don't know their team? Don't know McCaffrey? Yeah, they got a different quarterback in Bridgewater. But I think Ron Rivera is going to know kind of how to beat his old team. They lost Kuechly. Sorry, lost Luke Kuechly on defense. You lost Cam Newton. I think Bridgewater's going to have a good year. McCaffrey's going to have a good year. But you have a head coach going back to their old team, even if a few players have changed. With Washington's defense, I think going in here, Washington has nothing to lose. They're going to give it everything they got. I think they're going to pull this one off, guys. Upset alert at home.
Carolina, Washington stole their head coach from them, and Kyle Allen from them, their quarterback that played most of the year. But the Panthers did lose their middle linebacker in Kuechly, but how are the Washington Redskins going to capitalize on that? They have no decent receivers. Maybe one wide receiver is probably, their number one's probably maybe 2 or 3 on another team. I just don't see them capitalizing on losing Kuechly. Still think Carolina is a better team than Washington. Same with all these teams except for 2.
Well, Washington, you're 3-13 last year. If you average Brett and I's scores together, that's what that's what you got this year. But I got him 4-12. Brett's got him 2-14. Could be a tough learning year. And Washington's getting some top draft picks the last couple years. They're a good young team. Keep their defense together. Add a few more weapons on offense here and there via free agency, via however. There's some decent guys still out there as of right now. I mean, it's second week of June here. There's some free agents out there I think they could pick up yet. I don't know if they will. They might give their rookies a chance, and who they got on the team a chance to do it. Could be a tough year. we'll see what happens. Like I said, they got some good draft picks, some good young teams, or young members the last 2 years. Give them a couple years, but this year's going to be another learning curve for them guys. First year for Ron Rivera at Washington, so it's going to be a learning season. See what happens after that. But so next, we'll either do Dallas or Giants. Tune in tomorrow. Watch our next episode, episode 7, and we'll leave you hanging. Giants, Cowboys. Which one will we do? So from the Crazy Sasquatch, we'll see you guys tomorrow.